Okay, I think I'm ready, man. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go. What is up, guys? And welcome to another episode of the Garden of Creation podcast. Now, today, I know I say it every time. But today I got a real special one for you guys. You're not going to believe me when I tell you, but in the studio today, we've got an amazing singer-songwriter, phenomenal producer. He's an incredible performer. I mean, what can this man not play? What can he not play? What can he not do? It's one of my good friends, one of my best friends, Stanley Clementina.
Pleasure to be here, brother. A real pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining
what
us,
an introduction, man. Wow.
No, I mean, Stanley was actually probably one of the first people I met in the Netherlands when I moved here.
Exactly.
And also he had an amazing influence, like the biggest influence on my music career here as well. He taught me so much, showed me the ropes, introduced me to so many different people. So for that, I'm always very appreciative. Thank you, brother.
Man. Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it.
Stanley, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Just doing my thing. Very happy with my new release, of course. It's been a long time coming. My most vulnerable album ever. You know it. You were one of the first people that heard it also, like way back.
Yeah.
And now it's already 10 years that passed by.
Insane.
And we are here today, and it feels kind of strange, kind of scary though.
Yeah.
But also like releasing something, not only the album, but also my, like breathing out, like.
True, yeah, like a weight off your shoulders.
Yeah, a weight off my shoulders,
Nice.
I was always wondering like, whoa, this album is so, because I don't know if I've ever told you, but that song, there's one song on the album called Go Easy.
Okay.
And that song, man, I was at home, I was sitting there, and I was thinking of quitting with music.
No ways.
Yeah, I was crying.
If you guys know this guy, that's like the craziest idea ever.
Yeah. I was crying, man, and I was like, you know what? Everyone is doing the thing. I'm trying, but it's not working out. And I was sitting there, I was crying, and my guitar was here, and I was thinking like, man, I'm gonna put it in the closet and it's over. But then I grabbed it, and I started playing, like maybe for the last time. And then suddenly that song just came to me, like go easy, keep on climbing to the top, put your writings on the wall. So basically that song saved me.
Beautiful.
From my whole idea of quitting with music.
Yeah.
And that's how it all started, Yeah, with the recordings, I went to a studio in the Wisseloord. There was a studio called Backbeat
Okay, yes.
Studio.
Yes.
And they say, whoa, you got a nice album, man, you should record it. But keep it just guitar. I was like, oh, okay. So I recorded it. And yeah, man, the rest is history, And after that, I was like, it got a little bit more heavy and more heavy in terms of releasing the CD.
Yeah.
No, I just left it. And then my friend Shirma, she said, if you don't release the album, I'm gonna steal all your songs from you. Is one thing, yeah. And still, I didn't release it. But I was performing with the songs, and everywhere I came, people were like, whoa, man, this is beautiful. And I was still a little insecure about it. Yeah, I'm beautiful, but it's too vulnerable. People don't want to see like with Stanley, like from the inside, and the pain and everything. Yes, I thought that. And the reason why I decided to do it now is because I was in the studio with Nico and Vince. Yeah, Nico and Vince are from This Is Our Vie. You know that song?
Yeah. Really big, yeah.
Yeah, big song. I got the opportunity to sit down with them. Then this producer, Nigel Hay, he told me, yo, Stan, play one of your songs, man. So I played Go Easy. And when I finished, Vince was crying.
Oh, wild.
And they told me, you cannot keep this to yourself. People need to hear this. And those words basically made me consider to release it. And I guess I did.
Man, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, man.
Long story, but
That's insane. And I remember listening to this album. Yeah, literally every single track just hits in a different way, man. It's all beautiful, beautiful stuff. And I'm so happy that you finally released it, because now the world
Yeah.
gets to experience this
Yeah,
as
I
well,
hope
you
so.
know.
I hope that that everyone shares it, and that it goes into the world, not even to get like famous or something,
Yeah.
but I think I had my share of therapy with it,
Mm.
and I know it could mean a lot to someone out there.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
And
yeah.
there's some powerful lyrics, amazing songwriting. I mean, it's just guitar and voice, guys, but I mean, it sounds like a full production. It's incredible, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, and
Appreciate it.
obviously your vocals on there
Thanks, man.
sounds amazing. Yeah, it's really it connects, you know, on an emotional level, you know.
Yeah, the emotion is high. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's pretty emotional roller coaster, you know.
that's insane.
Yeah, it is.
Now I want to bring it back a little bit, you
All
know.
right, all
So
right.
we have the release of
Yeah,
the new album, Sweet Pain. Now it's out. You
sounds.
guys have to go check it out.
Check it
Stream it on
out.
Spotify. Check it out on social media. Show him some love, guys. You will not be disappointed. How do we go from this album now all the way back
All the way
to
back.
young Stan, little Stan?
Wow. Young Stan, born and raised
Yeah.
Curacao, Caribbean.
Wow.
Uh, Buena Vista. That was my city, village. How do you
Okay.
call it?
Buena Vista.
Buena Vista.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born there, raised by my grandmother. But in Curacao it's kind of normal because all the kids live at home.
Okay. Okay.
And when the kids leave home, grandma will be like, "No, I'm keeping him." And then the mothers, they have nothing to say about it. So, but yeah, I had a great time. Basically making music in the church. I started when I was 4. My mom saw that I had some talent, so she bought me a drum,
Okay.
like a real drum, but
So
a
was that
little.
your first instrument?
Yeah, yeah.
I would
I
never
guess
have
it
guessed.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was playing, because my father was a drummer and percussionist, So
Okay.
I think she thought like, oh, he's a talent.
Yeah.
But after that, I started going to the church. And in church, you get to know more instruments,
Yeah.
Guitar, piano, etc., etc. And I liked it, Didn't touch it yet.
Yeah.
And I remember I was about, let me see, 9 years old. Yeah. And the husband of my aunt was, at that time, I was living with my aunt because my aunt, she was feeling lonely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, of course, she had a husband, but she said, I would love to have more company, and I love him. And can he come with me just for a weekend? And weekends turn more weekends, And then I started also go to the church with him.
Okay.
And this man, he had a guitar in the room. But then, before I turned into a Christian, basically, I wrote a song. I was 9. I wrote a song, and then they released a song on the 45.
Oh man.
Back in the
Yeah.
days, and into the churches, it got all around, and everybody knew the song. It was nice, but I was still only singing,
Okay.
with this really girly voice. I had a high girly voice. But I saw the guitar. The guitar kept calling me. So one day I just grabbed it when it was gone, and I broke the string.
Oh, you broke a string. Oh
Yeah.
no.
And I was like, oh, I'm gonna get it because this man was, like tough. I thought I'm gonna get it, man. I'm gonna get my ass whooped. But then he came and he was like, "Who did this? You want to learn to play this? Good over here." And then he took my hand. You should see.
And you...
You should see. Play it. Oh shit. Every day you're gonna practice this, and I play the C. And then when I finish, there's the G. Oh man. And then I had the C and the G. And he learned me also the F was difficult.
Yeah.
So he told me, go figure it out now for yourself.
Crazy.
And I just started like, okay, so if this finger goes here, it makes this sound. How about it if I put a finger there? Oh, that sounds kind of okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
But it was sounding okay.
It just sounded nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And so basically, I teach myself how to play guitar. I had the C, I had the G, I had the D, I had the E major, E minor, and an A minor. Didn't even have the A major yet.
Yeah.
And the F was difficult, you know?
Yeah, yeah, the freaking bar
Yeah,
chords,
man.
man.
And that's the way I started. And then, through circumstances, you know, some heavy circumstances, I came to the Netherlands because by that time my grandma was living in the Netherlands because she was a little sick and she came to the Netherlands, you know, for treatment.
Yep.
And there was some stuff happening with me in Curacao, and she said, "Send him to me," you know.
Okay.
First, I went to my mom's in Curacao, but then my grandma said, "No, I want him here." So my mom had to shift me over to the Netherlands again. Like,
Grandma has the final say.
can I even you know, chill with my son? But okay, but grandma loved me too much.
Of course.
So I came to the Netherlands, you know, also in church still. But after church, I was 14, and my uncle Sherman, he said, "Hey, you're playing guitar in the church, but can you play bass?"
No ways.
Like, bass? Show me the bass. He showed me he bought me a bass guitar, but it only had 4 strings on it. And I was used to 6 strings, you know? So I looked and I was like, "But I was supposed to play." He said, "Yeah, it's almost the same, you know, it's just the tones and just practice it. And in 2 weeks, we're gonna start a band." I was like,
Wild.
"What?" Then he gave me a CD of a local Curacao hero bass player, well, the band basically. And I studied this bass player.
Yep.
And I listened to the music and I started playing bass with only the thumb,
Crazy.
you know, and that's where I learned to play bass. 2 weeks later, we were performing our Caribbean songs, you know, and I was playing bass. I was also singing. Yeah, and from there on, man, I've learned along the way. I met some people and they said like, "Hey, you know what? Hey, you're playing the bass like this. Try playing this like with 2 fingers." I'm like, "Huh? That's difficult." I'm okay, you know, try it. And I remember I had these 3 fingers. I was using these 3 fingers, but my pinky was floating in the air the whole time. I didn't even use it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, but that's the way. To fast forward, that's the way I entered conservatory. Anyway, I didn't know how to what a G clef was. You know, I didn't know anything.
None of that.
I didn't know anything about notes. Nothing. And one friend of mine, a drummer, that I met on the street also, but he's very, very well known also in the drummer, Joel Slagtand. He told me, "Man, don't you want to go to the conservatory?" I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, no, I'm scared." He said, "Man, it's okay, man. I could teach you some basics and you just do the exam." In 2 months, he told me, "This is G, and this is, you know, like this." I was like, "Okay." You say like face, FACE.
Yeah, yeah.
You know. Okay, so I did that, and I went to the conservatory. I was shitting my pants, but I went for bass guitar and I went for vocals.
Okay.
I went for bass guitar, and I was playing the most difficult songs, but they could not understand that I was using this strange technique.
Yeah.
And it was still sounding great.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Can you play this?" I couldn't read.
Shit, yeah.
They were like, "No, you're shitting us. You can read. You cannot play this difficult type of songs and not read." I'm like, "I don't know." They were like, "What?" And then they put me into the. I mean, I got accepted, but under the condition that I had to start with the photo planning, the
Yeah,
what
yeah.
they call it in English. So I started there, like the pre-year, just to get used to the notes and everything. But at the same time, I got accepted for vocals.
Oh, wild.
Yeah.
For 2 instruments.
2 instruments, yeah. I have 2 diplomas.
Crazy.
But there were 2 different departments at the time, and they did not know about each other.
Oh,
so you had 2 buildings, pop department and world music.
Yeah.
I did bass, world music, and the vocals, pop department.
Yeah.
And in the pop department, I got accepted for the first year. after the year for singing, I could skip a year. That was it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And um, so I had bass and I had vocals.
Yeah.
Two different departments,
Yeah.
two different buildings.
Yeah.
I had to run up and down, take the tram, run. I was always late, you know.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, he thinks he's everything," but man, I was doing two, and nobody knew.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had two piano, two everything.
Yeah.
And,
Crazy.
and in my last year, they found out.
Oh shit! Only in your last year, man. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy.
They were like, "What are you doing? Two?" I'm like, yeah. You know, so my entrance exam was also like 2.5 hours
Yeah. Oof.
of show. After that, I got a burnout,
Yeah, that's
heavy,
intense.
2 months. But yeah, so kids don't do this at home. Not like that, you know. But nowadays you have like study with mixed profiles, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you can combine the theory. But I had two theory, I had
True,
two piano,
true,
I
yeah.
had two everything. So that was pretty hectic.
It's intense. Two of everything. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's basically the story, and I just kept doing my thing, you know. I kept doing my music. Now I'm a teacher at a conservatory in
Yeah.
Amsterdam. This is basically a little bit this short story, you know, because in between also I have like R&B groups, we toured and stuff, doing pre-shows for R. Kelly, for
Crazy.
Brandy, for
Insane.
112, for you know all those artists that were famous at the time, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Really big names. Yeah.
Yeah. I done a lot, you know. So yeah, and after that, of course, conservatory. After conservatory, I went to work supporting young talents to do music, you know. And that time, I also started combining the musical with my work. Also crazy, because I got accepted in big shows for Joop van den Ende, you know.
Yeah.
I did The Wizard of Oz. I
Wow.
played like the Lion also.
Insane.
I did Joseph, the musical. And in the meanwhile, I was just working like 32 hours, and it was crazy, you know.
While doing this.
Yeah, and imagine the musical was 7 days, 7 shows a week. Yeah, at one point I had to choose, of course.
Yeah. It's too much.
Yeah, it
Man.
was too much, but yeah. And there's a whole lot more, but yeah.
Incredible, incredible. Now, guys, as I alluded to earlier, Stan's an incredible producer as well. He's worked with a bunch of different artists that are on the top of the list at the moment. I mean, you've produced for, can you give us some names?
Yeah, Frenna. I worked with Ronnie, Brian M.G., Gerard Joling. A lot, man.
It's probably easier to ask who haven't you worked with, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think I've worked with the most of them. Broeder Liefde.
Oh, nice.
Jay, of course.
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
I'm still working with him. I'm his musical director also.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I also did some productions for him also. Yeah, and I'm still doing show. Last year we did AFAS, was sold out.
Massive.
This year we're doing AFAS again.
Massive.
And it's with a style, the compa music. I'm the one that brought the compa to
Definitely.
the Netherlands and also the Caribbean, you know. Yeah, I mean, some people know that, some don't know that. But yeah, man, I brought that style a couple of years ago. In the beginning, people were like, it's a strange style. Yeah, why are you not doing kizomba? And I'm trying to explain to people like, look, man, kizomba and all those styles, they come from the compa music.
Yeah.
I love compa music since I was 4.
It's important for people to know, you know, the root and the path of all these things, you know, so how certain styles came into prominence, but also how certain styles are now popular. You know, it's a style that was not really a thing here in the Netherlands.
No.
You know, so.
No. And I mean, I got lots of love for the Asian people, you know.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, their history, they're fighters, you know, and sometimes a sad story, but they're still standing.
Yeah.
And I like that about the Haitian people, and I love the music, so, you know.
Awesome. So just for some background information for the people at home, because I'm sure some people are wondering where compa music actually comes from.
Yeah, and it comes from Haiti.
Awesome.
Guyat.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
And compa music, what is the root in compa music? Like what would you say, is there a specific instrument or is there a specific rhythm that you
Definitely.
recognize immediately?
Yeah, so compa is like the parent, and then you have kizomba, you have zouk, you know.
Yes.
They all share the chak 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 that clave.
Yes,
you know.
yes.
But there are significant differences.
Okay.
Because the compa music it's basically a Haitian merengue.
Okay.
You know, Haiti and Dominican Republic are basically one land divided.
Yes.
But you still hear some things that are like common kind of.
Okay.
Because in the merengue from San Domingo, you have the tambora playing that, and in the compa you have the same pattern.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, to say like, hey, which one was free? I'm not gonna talk about that. But it is beautiful to see that music travels and and exists. And in the compa music, basically, it was also spiritual. You know, in spirituality, it was used a lot, like that rhythm. They still use it also in churches there. You know, and in compa you have the conga and the campana.
Okay.
Because the conga does like kudukudukum, and then you have the tap 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 tap, and they play when they play the drum, they play that compact rest.
Okay.
That, you know, and nowadays because you got different styles of compa, of course, like hybrid and more organic. Back in the days also with horns, you know, but you hear a lot like the synth, like the synth solos.
Oh yes.
You know, like that, and that guitar with the flanger on it, sounding just a little bit maybe like almost detuned. It sounds because of the flanger.
Yes.
Vibe. You know, like that.
Yes.
It's beautiful, man. What happens, and kizomba doesn't basically have that conga and campana vibe in it. Okay. It's more like on the rim.
Okay.
You know, like that.
Yeah.
Zouk. You know, on the snare.
Yeah.
Like a saf, you know.
Yes.
They basically commercialized the compa, you know.
Yeah.
But it's still that element of the compa. It's the root, you know. So yeah, it's very interesting, and I love it. It's one of the most beautiful music I think in the world. And the dances, you know, the vibe. It comes from the heart, you know. I think that's why I love it so much.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And yeah, you've found a unique way of implementing it into a lot of like different styles even, commercializing it, but also keeping it quite true to the root as well.
I'm trying. I mean, of course, the root is Haiti.
Yes.
I'm not Haitian, but I got a Haitian heart, I like to say. So I'm not saying that like I got that Haitian sound like it is, because that's the original one. But I try to be as close as possible, and I try to respect the root.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah.
Now, impressive. I mean, also for any of you guys that have ever had the opportunity and the pleasure of joining this guy in the studio, it's just crazy seeing how many different instruments he can play. I'll tell you guys a funny story. So the one time I was in a studio with Stan, and he whipped out this old suitcase from one of his shelves, and he put it down, and he opened it up, and I was like, oh, whoa, what is that? And he was like, it's a saxophone,
saxophone,
you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, can you play saxophone? And he was like, no, I've never played saxophone before. And he just took it out, and I'm like, are you kidding me, bro? You never played before, but in like 2 minutes, he's just nailing solos and everything. And it was the funniest experience ever. With every instrument, he hears something, and he just goes behind the instrument, and he nails it. It's like unbelievable. I don't think I can say I've ever seen or heard of anyone that can play more instruments, especially on this level. Because I mean, some people can play, but it's like it's not all that. But your level is insane, man.
Yes, man.
So I can understand why a lot of people want to work with you as well.
Yes, man.
It's really incredible. Now, peeps, Stanley has joined us in the studio today to grace us with a song off of his new album. It's called Right or Wrong. Now I'm going to let Stanley take it away. I hope you guys enjoy.
I try to stay calm as the walls collapsing. No one around to testify. Ain't we getting tired of all this nonsense? I'm throwing in the flag, the battle is done. It don't matter who's right, as long as we know that we got each other. No matter who's wrong, as long as we know that we're meant to be. It don't matter who's right, as long as we know that we got each other. No matter who's wrong, as long as we know that we're meant to be. Why so much anger over nothing? Why your eyes keep begging me to never let go? Oh, the silence is killing me. It seems like this road is taking an eternity. I think you agree, it don't matter who's right, as long as we know that we got each other. No matter who's wrong, as long as we know that we're meant to be. It don't matter who's right, as long as we know that we got each other. No matter who's wrong, as long as we know that we're meant to be. Such a waste of time, we gotta stop this fight. We're missing out on the things we care about. Why can't we just stand still and realize it don't matter who's right, as long as we know that we got each other. No matter who's wrong, as long as we know that we're meant to be. It don't matter who's right, as long as we know that we got each other. No matter who's wrong, as long as we know that we're meant to be.
There you have it, peeps. Now, wasn't that an incredible performance? I told you, he's amazing, right? This guy's on another level, man. He's on another level. So please, please, please check him out on all social medias. I'm going to put the link in the description below so you can give him a follow, show the man some love, and you got to stream this album. Hit the repeat button and just let it go, let it go, let it go. I promise you, you will not get tired. This is some high-level stuff. It's amazing. Album Sweet Pain out now.
Yes.
Go support Stanley Clementina.
Thank you very much for the support.
My brother, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
I
Thank you
really
very much.
appreciate it. It's always fun spending time with you.
It has been great being here, man. Keep up the good that good work, brother.
Thanks, brother.